When one thinks of the IPs that define the PS3, the infamous series must be included. It may not have the same critical and commercial adoration as Little Big Planet, Uncharted or Demon's Souls, but it was an almost singularly fun series with a surprising amount of heart and pathos. It was an IP that did not deserve to fall by the wayside, which makes us very excited to know that a new entry will soon be available on the PS4. Though many thought that the conclusive and massively divergent endings to Infamous 2 was an indication that Sucker Punch was prepared to step away from the IP and move on to something new, luckily that was not the case. One of the tenets behind the game appears to be to show just how much of a technological leap the PS4 is over its predecessor, and one of the areas in which this is most apparent is in the graphics. Prior titles have never really felt as though they were pushing the hardware, and while Second Son is no Killzone Shadowfall, it is still surprisingly good looking, with the particle effects being a real standout. In many respects, the core of what made the first two Infamous games so fun remains firmly in place for Second Son. From the suitably large open world featuring a degree of environmental diversity and a number of landmarks, to the ease of traversal granted by an intuitive parkour system, every aspect has been expanded upon. The most immediately apparent of these is the reworking of the powers. Whereas Cole was capable of manipulating electricity, as well as ice and fire in limited capacity in the second game, Delsin has a much wider array of abilities at his command. Thus far we've been made aware of the smoke and neon powers, though Sucker Punch has promised that there will be more on top of these. When it comes to combat, it has been revealed that the smoke power will have the most impact in melee confrontations, with Delsin being able to dissolve into smoke and teleport short distances to deliver more powerful attacks, while Neon is designed as a long range power, being with accuracy and projectile strength greater than that of smoke. Second Son takes place 7 years on from the good ending of Infamous 2, but the promised extinction of conduits has not come to pass. In the wake of the events that occurred in Empire City and New Moray, the US government has set up the Department of Unified Protection, which is dedicated to protecting regular citizens from the threat posed by conduits, now called bioterrorists. The world lives in a state of fear, and there is a very clear prejudice against the superhumans. Like the previous game, Second Son will offer moral choices that will ultimately lead to either a good or evil ending. It has been stated that these choices won't necessarily be as black and white as previously the case. The setting is one with a lot of storytelling potential, and dropping a morally ambiguous character into the midst of it only increases the promise. From Sly Cooper to Infamous, Sucker Punch Productions have always furnished players with games that are a lot of fun, and their storytelling is only getting better as they go along. Infamous Second Son has an expected worldwide launch date of March 21st, 2014, exclusively for the PlayStation 4. For more information, be sure to check out onlysp.com. Thanks for watching, folks. Take care.
Not bad.